right, and we're back for another episode of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's Gerald Glasser coming right back at you from Lakers Fast Break, Pop Culture Cosmos, Inside Sports Fantasy Football, and Game Source. We truly appreciate everyone out there listening to all of our shows. And if you can, please give us a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. Plus, if you can like, share, subscribe, or do anything that you can to support us right here at the Lakers Fast Break, Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week. And we've got another show dropping on Monday that's going to cover WrestleMania, what happened with the box office, and so much more. Plus also, yeah, exactly, Joe Soro is lifting up. He's going to do a body slam on somebody. But also as well, if you can support Inside Sports Fantasy Football, Game Source, the great guys at LakersBall.com for this, stand by and be there for their game time chat. There's only going to be probably 4 of them left. So please go ahead and check out their game time chat at LakersBall.com. Plus also as well, Lakerholics.com. Be part of the conversation today at Lakerholics.com, and are also our good friends at the Hoopheads Podcast Network. And if you could support all that, is sincerely appreciated. Exactly. The big sigh right there from Joe Soro says it all. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be another 4 games. And this season will be behind us as one of the worst in Lakers history, because you had another situation today where LeBron James, his ankle wasn't feeling quite right. He just, I guess, too much soreness, so he couldn't make it into the lineup. Either that, or maybe he got his feelings hurt by what Kareem was telling him. I'm not sure. I don't know. But yeah, Kareem was already talking smack about him again this past weekend. And with all that going on and more drama up ahead, the Lakers are just riding out the season as best they can. Today, they faced off in the Crypto.com arena against possible MVP and Nikola Jokic. We'll see what happens there. But yes, they faced off against the Denver Nuggets, but it was the Nikola Jokic show. And even though you had good games from Anthony Davis with 28 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, and 3 block shots, and Russell Westbrook, 27 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists. Carmelo Anthony chipped in with 17, but it was only 1 of 7 on threes. And the rest of the team, just not quite enough. It was the Nikola Jokic show was there as he scored 38, 18 rebounds, 6 assists, and the Denver Nuggets pulled away after a very competitive 3 quarters for the Lakers, pulled away in the 4th. As Joe always says, they give you 3 quarters of full play, not the 4th. Unfortunately, they don't put together a 4-quarter type deal. And once again, the Lakers fall in the 4th quarter, 129 and 118, where they just couldn't get it done. But here today to talk about the game, 2 great guests indeed. As always, he is a good man from LakersBall.com. He's Ox1947. Please be part of the game time conversations at LakersBall.com. As we also will talk today about the most improved player and also as well the defensive player of the year. It is Joe Soro. Joe, great to have you here. Same old with the Lakers. And unfortunately, that means another L.
Yeah, the push
Bodies.
up
You're doing a press slam.
That was the gorilla press. My move when I was in college was the torture rack.
Oh, there you go. Put some over their shoulder. Yep, Lex Luger torture rack.
It was one of my favorite. The only one I think I might have liked better was the Razor's Edge, but a lot of people don't. I don't know. That's just not functional in a normal environment.
Godspeed, Scott Hall. On that one.
Yes, indeed. The game played out exactly like the season has. They play close. They play well.
They
the
followed
stats.
the script.
Yeah, the stats on offense will sway back and forth, but the defense will always stay the same, which is basically they'll hit every 3, they'll get every layup, they'll get every free throw. It is the most jinxed, cursed season I've ever seen, even in the parts that it's not their fault. I'm watching Barton shoot threes like he's Steph Curry.
57% from the field as a whole.
Never missed.
They don't miss. They have not missed all year. Doesn't matter if it was Denver. Doesn't matter if it's Charlotte. Doesn't matter if it's New Orleans. Doesn't matter if it's Miami, Orlando. Doesn't matter. They don't miss. They never miss this year. This is 4 games left now, and I'm expecting 4 more teams to not miss. It has been it's not weird. It's not, I don't even think cursed or jinxed is even the word either. I don't know what this is.
It's bad. It's really
bad. So defense. Bad. It is
balancing itself for the.
It's never. Yeah. It's never. I have never seen every game. Every game has a nobody. It used to be maybe once every couple weeks where I'll see some guy in Portland make 30, 40 points, or no, I shouldn't say 40, like 25, 30 points. And I'm like, who's this guy? Oh, it's a nobody that's trying to make his name against the Lakers. This year, it was every game over and over and over and over and over again. And it was compiled with your 2 stars missing practically half the season. You have your 3rd star who doesn't really mesh in a team concept on top of that. And then you have a bunch of role players who don't know how to play defense, play deep team defense, and are mentally completely shot from the season. So in a nice little recipe put together, it's a nice disaster recipe for really bad food. And I'd say Phoenix is probably going to would it be official if they lose to Phoenix with them being out, or do they still need to lose to Oklahoma City?
They still need to lose to Oklahoma City.
We'll see. So, yeah, it was – I liked seeing AD playing through the pain. You could see that he was laboring a little bit there. He was doing that in last year's playoff game before he had to go out, and I do commend him for that. There was times he looked really good, and it looked like old AD, and that's all I got on that. Unfortunately, we made DeMarcus Cousins look like he was DeMarcus.
Should have kept him.
No. He only
kept him as a backup.
We should have kept somebody.
Instead of DeAndre.
He looked good because he was playing against the Lakers. I hadn't seen him do anything like that before. It's just not. This is the team to do that with.
Well, he's been playing like that most of the season since Denver picked him up.
Yeah. Aaron Gordon's the guy that surprised me.
Well, he's been doing well the last 5-6 games.
He played extremely well.
He's played well since he moved over from Orlando.
Yeah.
He's finally
that was a steal for them, and they really needed it. And
so Michael Porter Jr., is he coming back, or is his back shot?
His back is shot for this year.
Okay, Jamal Murray tore his ACL, which means he's never going to be the same player.
Well, he has been working out, so he's kind of iffy. Although Jamal Murray, we don't know. Yeah, with the knee,
we'll see.
Thought he might be back by now.
Without trying to repeat myself, I tried to change up a little bit at the beginning there with the wrestling theme, just because I'm bored of talking about the same thing. But the reality is, the game played exactly like how it has in virtually almost every game all year. 3 quarters is for the Lakers. 3 quarters equals $1. There's no other analogy to use. There's no other joke. You can make a stand-up joke, on something like that. Of course, before Will Smith comes out of nowhere and smacks you in the face. But it's 3 quarters is $1. That's the documentary subject line. The 2021-22 LA Lakers, 3 quarters equals $1.
Well, I think they played 3.5 quarters tonight.
I'd probably say closer.
Let's not shortchange.
So I'll cut the quarter then. We'll cut the quarter.
I'd say closer.
And put it next to it.
Well, they were still tied with 6 minutes to go, so
that's something to.
That's something to look at. Joe, I spent, actually.
And here today also is LakerTom from LakerHolics.com. Now go. Okay, you're on all you.
I actually said during the game, because I was getting so frustrated with every single little thing that ever happens seems to be going against the Lakers at this point, and I definitely felt that same cursed feeling. I was actually praying to the basketball gods. I said, come on, just you can drop a double major injury on us tomorrow or the next game, but can you let us just at least have AD stay healthy this game and maybe a couple of bounces of the ball our way instead of the other team's way for a change?
Well, they were making bets on NBA radio exactly how many minutes he'd still play for the rest of the season. So that tells you right there.
The odds have gotten so small at this point in time because we have to gain 2 games and there's only 4 left. So that tells you what happens,
Oh, they're going to sit him down. They're going to shut him down.
They ought to shut both of them down. They should shut the season
LeBron
down.
just has to play.
They should at least
one more.
fire Frank Vogel with 1 day left, just to not give him a complete season as a Lakers coach. It's a joke. How can you start a game with? And I'm just tired of talking about the crazy lineup changes and so forth.
39th different lineup.
Yeah, and Vogel to the end. We've seen a friction between the front office and the coaching staff because basically the front office is giving the coach a roster he doesn't like, and the coaches refuse to play certain people, and now at the end he's basically told the Lakers front office, what the hell, I'm going to play the guys I want, and I'm not going to play the guys that you want me to play. And it's really just a remarkable, almost a spiteful move in some ways by Vogel, and probably is representative of a very deep conflict between Vogel and Pelinka. Maybe on how to run the basketball team, and maybe also just on how valuable certain people are. The Lakers do not have a visionary running the operation who's, like Jerry Buss was, and they don't have a vision of exactly what kind of team they want to play. The closest they got, and frankly, even though it needed some modifications, was how we played in the bubble to win the championship. And the thing that we did there that we've just totally gotten away from is we had bigger, stronger, more athletic people at every single position. You go back to that team and you look at it. Your guards were 6'5" and 6'6". They weren't 6'2" and 6'3". Your small forward was 6'9" LeBron. Your power forward was 6'8" Markieff, and your center is a 6'11" LeBron Anthony Davis. So you got a huge team. We were bigger. Our style was small ball on offense to a certain extent, but we were bigger almost every position, and we don't have that positional size advantage anymore. And that's one of the things that we've gotten away from. That is, just as you were talking about, Joe, of DeMarcus Cousins was just eating, but every center on every team, even their second string centers, feast on the Lakers because we don't have any size. We've forgotten completely what won us the championship. I mean, we've gone to smaller guards. That started with Dennis, and continued this year. And we've sort of adopted the whole thing that we don't even need somebody during the regular season like Howard and McGee to eat up minutes and keep everybody fresh and continue to be big. Teams used to be afraid of us coming in and bully balling them. Now they're licking their chops when they see us come in there with these lineups. And it's not about playing small ball. It's just about the size. We played small ball last year, but we were bigger at every single position than our opponent was a lot of the time. And we need to go back to that formula. The only thing I'd change is have a center who can shoot threes, a modern center who can stretch the floor. Seems like a simple solution, and don't spend $47 million on a third superstar. That's going to be hard to fit. You can't take three guys who are used to playing, having 30% usage, and put them on the court. And there's just not enough time. Somebody's going to have to sacrifice, and you're better off to split that $47 million we're paying Russ next year into three guys who can hopefully be better than any of the guys that we got other than the superstars. So I don't know whether the patient has been taken off of life support yet, but they've definitely made an announcement that we're dead. And I don't expect that we're going to see LeBron and AD.
I do. We're going to see LeBron at least once more.
Is that for the scoring thing one more time for the scoring?
I think he had to play 3 last time we were talking about it. So I think he's played. I think 1 or 2 more. I forget which one, but yeah, it's at least one.
Our season has come down to this.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah,
it comes down to LeBron's individual statistics. Absolutely, that's all that we're going to have any entertainment on, at least
That and Kareem giving him continual shout outs and complaints over the course of the weekend like he did. So, yes.
Well,
Kareem complaining again. What a surprise.
Go Yankees.
Well, once again, the Lakers do unfortunately fall for their 6th loss in a row, 129-118. The Lakers right now are an amazing 31-47, still 11th place in the Western Conference, now a full 1.5 games behind San Antonio Spurs. And since they don't have the tiebreaker on that, you just got to say that they're 2.5 games behind the San Antonio Spurs with 4 games left to play. In fact, Sacramento is actually almost closer than the Lakers are to the San Antonio Spurs. So they could actually fall below Sacramento, and wouldn't that be a kick right there for you? So before we head on out, guys,
who gets their draft pick, because it's all of a sudden a lottery pick.
Right now, because of the bad record for the Lakers, it now falls over to New Orleans right now. If the Lakers had stayed in the play-in or thereabouts,
but Memphis gets it if it hits a certain
level.
No,
it's after 10. I think it's after 10. If it's 1 to 10, I think it goes to New Orleans.
So it's better for New Orleans if we lose.
Yeah. So again, we're good. If we in the current situation, it goes to New Orleans right now. Right. So I have a feeling it's going to go to New Orleans, and wouldn't that be a kicker? But again, the Lakers did win the championship from the AD trade. So I'm saying still to this day, until my darkest day, I will say that it will be wise. It was wise to go ahead and make the move. You made the move. You won the title. How many teams win the title? Not as many as you think. So I'll say
I just thought we would be able to squeeze one more out with AD being, in his prime.
This looks like it's going to be the only Lakers championship that's going to be bundled by itself.
Yeah. It's that was the only bummer. I was even saying before, I said if we can win one more title in the next couple of years after we had won it, I said this would be a major win, because we.
But I do the AD trade over again. Again,
I don't.
You have to do that.
I don't think anybody would argue against.
They're going to sign LeBron for 2 more years, and that's going to give them 2 more. They're either going to sign him or going to trade him, one or the other, because they can't. If he doesn't sign an extension, they have to trade him, because they can get a lot of value for him right now.
Yes, they certainly can.
So you're going to have 2 more shots with LeBron.
Okay.
And then the question always is, would you be better off trading him right now and when he's younger and has value? Because in 2 years, you probably won't be able to trade him.
Well, and that's the question. Big question, indeed. But yeah, I definitely. I'm about clearing everything out at this point, including those options, because you can get a lot back.
Yeah, but you fire the people who are going to make the decisions too, like I would.
That's a problem.
Well, it doesn't look good too. I'm sitting there, and someone had mentioned I had noticed it, but I didn't say anything. But I'd noticed one of my esteemed message board colleagues had mentioned how I don't remember that Microsoft logo on the court. It looks so tacky with the colors.
Was that put in by ABC?
I hope so, because
because they have those. Remember, ABC, but it's still the whole leagues. The whole league's TNT. They have the option to go ahead.
Yeah, it is just a pathetic. They don't wear gold. They don't wear their gold armor anymore at home hardly. They crypto.com. I mean, it's like everything is turning into that corporate, BS garbage that we all just can't stand, because apparently they're just okay. Well,
the crypto.com is not their deal. That's AEG taking.
Yeah, be careful.
You would take the money too if they offered you.
Again, look. The deal is, I've said this to my friends. Arena? My friends feel
LakerTom Arena.
My friends tell me I'm full of BS. And again, the thing is, money doesn't mean anything to me. That's me. Maybe that's just me. Okay. And I have it. So to me, I'm about the image and what you actually produce. And if it's just about making money, all right. There you go.
Is Joe Soro there? Yes.
Doesn't it explain?
That's the equalizer and the scorekeeper.
It makes sense by why all this stuff is happening, doesn't it? A little bit, if you're just strictly going to go about the money,
But
is
it's
it really about all the
AEG,
money?
It's out of the Lakers' hands. They're just a tenant.
Look at the Dallas Cowboys. Look, there's no AEG, there's no Staples Center without the Lakers. Let's be real here. Come on. Okay, I don't care who owns what the other half.
They have 100 other dates a year.
Dallas Cowboys have been a perennial dumpster fire. Okay, since 1995, the last time they won a Super Bowl. Why? Because they have
their owner.
Their owner sucks, and their value has gone up. Right? They're the most valuable franchise on the planet, but their team sucks. So I'd rather have my team be good than rich, because you're already rich. You just want to be super rich? Well, keep putting your logos and all that stuff on there.
But the Lakers don't even get the money from Crypto.com. That's what you got to remember. They don't even get the money. One of their owners, the partial owners, does. Really. AEG owns a percentage of the Lakers. Yes, they're getting the money. So there you go. But it again, it's all relative. But Joe, again, I'll make sure Crypto.com gives you a call and asks you for a cool $30 million to see if that's to go ahead and call it, Crypto.com.
Why would they give me $30 million?
Okay. Well, with more, how about $40 million? Let's go ahead. Let's raise the stakes.
Again, we have to have a discussion here. Money doesn't drive me. Sorry, it's just not how I roll.
Okay,
I guess. What would that entail? $40 million. What am I doing?
Well, all you have to do is write a check to Gerald.
Does that mean I got to compromise my team?
Simply solves the solution
for sucking. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I would do that.
All right, make all payable checks to Lakers Fast Break. But once again, the Lakers do fall 129-118, and a horrible defensive performance, and a good performance again, a showcase for Nikola Jokic on his drive to MVP. We'll be talking about the MVP before the end of the season, who we think should win, but not right now. Today, for the rest of the show, we're going to be
appropriate for us to do that right now, but I understand.
No, we're going to talk about most improved player and the defensive player of the year. That's how we're going to close the show. I got this on the schedule. You saw the schedule, guys. So
I know I saw the schedule, but sometimes the topic of the day is evidence right there that helps.
No, because there's still much more to go. I think in the MVP race, there's still much more to go because there is three individuals.
Well, they play the Lakers again. They play the Lakers again, and they play the Spurs again.
Yeah, but I think I think Joel Embiid and also Giannis Antetokounmpo. You need, especially Antetokounmpo last week was a monster, and he definitely is right in the race there with it. But again, that's for another program. Right now, it's the most improved player and defensive player of the year. So, LakerTom, I will start with you for the most improved player. I know what Vegas has their odds at right now. It is really
John
hard.
Morant.
Morant. Everybody's saying John Morant.
I mean, that's why both of these are fixed already decisions, man.
No, I disagree with you on the defensive, but John Morant is most likely going to walk away with it. I'm not in love with that pick because of the fact that John Morant has improved from great player to one of the best out there. Don't get me wrong, but the team, Memphis, has played so well without him in stretches. In fact, they've only lost.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah, it makes you wonder. I just think that it's really hard for me to say that he's
makes
going
you
to
really
be the
worry
most.
How do you know he's not
really worry about Memphis as a future?
How do you know he's not inspiring his team when he's not playing?
You could be right, Joe. You could be right.
We gotta, I think that's the problem with what's been going on with the guys that haven't been playing is, how about be that guy that says, guys, go get after it, do something.
But what about a player like let's throw in Mikal Bridges of Charlotte, who wasn't even offered a final year on his contract by the team. And look at him. He's gotten so much better in the span of a year. He's now a 20-point scorer, playing solid defense, turned his three-point shooting around, is now become a marquee player this coming free agency. That's a player I think that the most improved player should actually look at. John Morant is probably going to get
but Ja moved himself to be one of the best five players.
Oh yeah, he's an NBA. I mean that's first teamer consideration, all that. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
We went to superstar level.
He is a superstar.
Didn't expect him to do that.
I understand, but the team has played so well even without him. Like Joe says, maybe because he's inspiring, what have you. It's just.
Did you hear what he said about Iguodala? You know how Iguodala was traded to Memphis. He ended up wanting to get out, got bought out, and left, and they kind of clowned him a little bit and said he didn't believe in what we were doing here. So
man, they talk on that team. They talk on that
right.
team.
So now the thing is with John Morant, to say that this guy wins a most improved player award, to me, this is the second pick overall. And this was not this was a for sure thing. The only reason why it got a little bit down was because Zion was so big. But we all knew Ja was going to be a superstar. Really, he just had it. The only thing that can stop this is an injury. That's it. But if he wasn't going to get injured, this was going to be – because he is the prototypical player of today's era.
Gifted athletically.
Okay? He is the prototypical – he's fitting it perfect. He's kind of like his own Allen Iverson type player of this era like Allen was in 96. So now – calling him an improved player,
that's a tough one.
I wouldn't balk on it.
But it's a huge jump that he made.
He deserves it if he gets it.
And I agree with you, Tom. I agree with you. And I think Joe does as well. But it's very hard because he was already expected to be at this level.
Yes. Bridges, to me, again, I'm not going to – any of the top five, whether it's Murray, whether it's Garland – I'll get to Garland in a second because that's kind of my pick. But Bridges, I know it's just a singular year award. If he went, he's I think second now in Vegas, isn't he?
But even Charlotte didn't even. Mitch Kupchak and Charlotte, they didn't even think he was going to develop.
Right. So he takes it personally and has a great year. Okay, cool. To me, really, I think if I was voting, I would. And when you encompass the whole, if you're going to be called the most improved player, that definitely kind of falls in line with more of like an MVP of the team type thing. And I just think Darius Garland is
a good pick.
He went from 8 to 21, and he's got stats that are comparable to Magic. Hitting 90% from the free throw line. Cleveland has ascended from post LeBron stinking to all
Vegas
of a sudden
only
now
had them pegged at 29 wins this year.
I mean, has he inspired Kevin Love to give a crap again? I mean, that's a pretty amazing feat. I think if I was voting, when you compass all the things that matter, I think I would go with Darius Garland. I think he's shown the most. And it's drastic, too. It's not even small. It's drastic.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Him over the past season and a half, he's been tremendous. And this season, again, as long as he's been on the court, because I know he's had some health issues, he's been tremendous. And he's any of these choices are great choices, LakerTom. I mean, you can't go wrong with any of them.
I just wish one of them was a Laker.
Yeah.
Well, Darius could have been a Laker.
As we all do.
That was the guy. He would have been the pick.
Well, you know what? If the Lakers do something to free up that $47 million of cap space, maybe Bridges could be a Laker. You never know. You never know, indeed. But before we head on out, Defensive Player of the Year, I think this is a little bit more, out there as far as the choices are concerned. I know Rudy Gobert is still thought of as a Defensive Player of the Year type deal. I don't think he is the Defensive Player of the Year. I think, as you saw in last night's game, where he gets exposed because he does not go and guard on the perimeter, he gets played off the court. I think you'll see that again in this year's playoffs. I do not think of him as a Defensive Player of the Year. I understand the analytics about how he is when he's on the court and how he is out the court as far as their defense is concerned. Statistically, he should be a runaway winner. But I think when it comes to the eyeball test and the eye test, I really think he is not the Defensive Player of the Year. I personally think right now, for me, Mikal Bridges of Phoenix, who has done a tremendous job as a wing defender and should be the wing defender that people covet as far as what type of defender that they want out of the wing. He has personally made it a mission to go ahead and try to stop every wing star that there is out there. And obviously, he's been a tremendous part of Phoenix's success. I really think that Mikal Bridges should win it. Joe, do you have thoughts on Defensive Player of the Year?
This is the laziest award voters vote for. They always seem to tail to the center with the most blocks and rebounds. And to me, Rudy Gobert has never been a Defensive Player of the Year for me. He is too soft, too weak-minded, and when it matters most, he's never showed up. I never really understood what the big deal was there. Bam Adebayo is proclaiming that he is the Defensive Player of the Year, and just because he said that, I wouldn't give him the award. I would give it to Giannis.
He hasn't played enough games, not been healthy enough.
Again, then that's usually another criteria that they don't vote for. Whenever you miss too many games, they won't vote you for Defensive Player of the Year. It's basically somebody who's played all year and has nice blocks and rebounds the whole season. And for me, I tend to be more heavy onto the guys that are actually playing the perimeter, because it's easy to stand back and wait for somebody to come to you. But how about guarding somebody?
Agreed.
A guard, a forward, especially in this day and age when you got to guard everybody, right? How about we give it to the guy who's actually really putting his, rear end down and playing with the fastest players on the planet, right? So to me, I think Giannis is showing a little bit towards the end here. Why don't you give it to Giannis again? He deserves it.
You're that, or I've also heard as well, Marcus Smart, obviously he's led that big charge for Boston and how great that defensive team has been. That would be a clear indicator that people appreciate his work with Boston. I know it's Boston, it's a Lakers show.
I think he should get the leadership award.
Yeah.
The most valuable leader. What was it? The Kareem Award now? Is it the Kareem Award? They call it the Kareem Award? The Jabbar
Award? That's what Carmelo Anthony won. Yeah.
Okay, but I know that's a different subject. But that guy put a light in that team's butt, and they've been playing balls out. I mean, geez, what? How about we talk more about that? I know it's a Celtic thing, but to me, Marcus Smart is an old school guy that just finally was at the right situation where I guess the team started listening, and here you are. Wow, what a concept to actually have somebody put a fire in you and go, hey, I'm not gonna wilter down and go, oh, we're injured, we can't play because they're gonna call a foul. No, he lit a fire and everyone started playing the way they should. Wow, can't believe it. I thought that was impossible anymore. So yeah, I would say if he, if I want to see more perimeter players getting Defensive Player of the Year award, because that's how it should be. For me, I'd give it to Giannis right now.
Again, that wouldn't be a bad choice as well, especially after the past week. Tom, if you get off mute, can you let us know? And if you let us know exactly who your thoughts are on Defensive Player of the Year.
I pretty much agree with Joe on both of the comments because the two guys that I was impressed with most this year were Giannis, who finally now starts to guard the best guy on the other team, regardless of the position.
He wasn't doing that before.
And he's doing it now. And then Marcus Smart, because I think he's been the key to the old turnaround of the Celtics defense, which has made them a legitimate contender in the East. So those would be my 1 and 2 candidates for that.
Yeah, because the year he actually won the Defensive Player of the Year, I was on this show talking to you and criticizing about how he shouldn't have won it because he was never guarding the best player. He was always on that rover defense.
No, and that was true of that. That was true.
AD got robbed. Oh, God, that was one of the worst ones, too. Yeah.
But he's done everything. He's shown he can hit a three when it counts. He's shown he can hit a free throw when it counts.
Yeah,
and he's shown he can win a championship.
And that's for the MVP debate. But yes, you're right, Tom. I mean, Giannis Antetokounmpo, you've seen his blocks, at the right time in the past couple of weeks. So definitely he should be under strong consideration. I don't know why the odds makers still have Draymond Green up there because he has been injured for over 2 months. So I think that should
and didn't really play well.
They're lazy. That's why.
Yeah, and again, Mikal Bridges also as well, Marcus Smart, Giannis Antetokounmpo, I think are all above Rudy Gobert at this point. But that's our thoughts right there. If you have thoughts out there on the most improved player and defensive player of the year, please let us know at Lakers Fast Break on Twitter, at LakerTom. Give him a big shout out on Twitter, Lakerholics.com or LakersBall.com or LakersFastBreak at Yahoo.com. We are going to run down. Also, make sure to catch our shows because we are going to run down all the major awards coming up on our next coming shows. We will cover MVP and Coach of the Year and all that stuff. So please go ahead and check that out on our regular shows. But before we head on out, guys, just want to mention that we will be back once again. The Lakers, only 4 games left this season because I think it's pretty much a done deal that their season is over. I hate to say it, but you know what? It's time that everybody starts coming to grips with what's going on with this team. Their next game.
Say your farewells.
Yeah, say your farewells because their next game is at Phoenix, 7:30 p.m. on NBA TV and also the Lakers station. Check it out on Tuesday, and we'll be back on Tuesday to talk more about it. it's almost over, guys. Your pain is almost over. So that's a good thing indeed. But once again, the Lakers do fall to Denver, 129 to 118. They are now falling further into the depths of the Western Conference hell. As I likened to what Joe Soro was saying the other day about one of the best movies that has been made in the 21st century, and that is Get Out, as far as Daniel Kaluuya's character falling deeper into the abyss. Right now, the Lakers are definitely falling deeper into the abyss indeed. But once again, 129 to 118, the Lakers lose. We'll be back on Tuesday, hopefully with some better news, maybe a surprise. Maybe Phoenix will put everybody on the bench and have everybody sit out because they don't need to play anymore. They've already got the best NBA record. They're set. They don't need to play.
Get ready for this.
Yeah.
They'd like to be the team, though, that put the Lakers down.
Yes.
Well, they rest everybody, and their bench
Denver
still beats the Lakers. So, yeah.
Or OKC might be the team that takes us officially out, which would
that could be appropriate too.
The irony would be hilarious, considering the irony would be the irony would be hilarious because that was really when things started going downhill, when we kept blowing those 20-point leads against.
Closure. We need
closure.
If we lose to Oklahoma City, and that would be 3 losses against Oklahoma City, and if we lose by 2 or 3 games, that was the difference right there. That was the difference. That would be bad.
In return for that, they'll trade for Russell Westbrook and give us a huge.
Would it be more poetic than irony? Am I getting that mixed up? It's more poetic, right?
Not whatever you want to call it. Yeah,
depends.
It'd be something, normal. That's for sure.
It's like when they say, "I'm literally a computer." No, you can't literally be a computer, right? Okay. People say that a lot now. They're literally something.
Well, they have the mind of a computer. Okay, if only they actually did, and the microchips that were there.
I think I confused you on that one, G.
Yeah, you did.
Sorry.
Yeah, because my mind's not a computer right now.
But your middle name is Genius.
Yeah, that's true. I'll take that. The computer chips. You know what? I feel like Severance, where they're putting the computer chip, where I'm going to go ahead and just not remember a thing after I finish.
Well, Ben Stiller had a funny. I'll keep this real quick. Ben Stiller had a
best
funny
show
line
on television.
He had a funny line when we had a little part in Empire of the Sun. This is like back in the day when Christian Bale was 12.
I saw that clip.
He goes, he accidentally said cut while he was acting, and Spielberg goes, "You're not supposed to say that."
Totally embarrassed himself. It's okay. He went on to a great career, and now he's directing what I think is right now the best show on television. Catch it today on Apple Plus. Severance, fantastic show. Absolutely cannot say enough good things. It's got, if you're into that Lost type of mystery type deal with twists and turns and cliffhangers on each and every episode, Severance is definitely for you. But we'll also be on Tuesday talking about Winning Time, another show that's out there on HBO Max. We'll talk about episode 4 or 5. Episode 5. I think episode 5.
5?
Episode, yes, like 5 stars. There, right there for you. Go ahead. We'll talk about that on Tuesday. Hopefully after a Lakers win. But, at this point, I seriously don't know. But please go ahead and be part of what we're doing today here at the Lakers Fast Break. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Big shout out to our YouTube viewers as always. They've been very vocal. Joe and I have been answering your comments on YouTube quite a bit. We truly appreciate it. Subscribe there. But thank you so much, and we'll see you Tuesday night after the game against Phoenix right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast.